You're listening to Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers with your hosts Greg Behrendt and Kane Holloway.
Hello and welcome to Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers. Classic opening. I'm Kane Holloway.
I'm Greg Behrendt. Classic.
Classic.
Is that
opening.
classic?
That's a classic opening, baby.
Wow.
First, we let them know what the show is. Then we let them know who's on the show. Then we start the show. We're in it. Classic. Classic stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, welcome. Glad you're with us.
Couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Look forward to you finding better podcasts.
Yes. Use us as a springboard, you know, for to betterment of your relationships and to find other shows.
Yeah.
We got quite a bit of show today, and we got beef. We got continued rivalry between me and a listener. Our Discord is blowing up, so if you want to join the Discord,
go over to Discord.
Yeah, people are making their own popsicle memes. They take our popsicle pictures and they add a little meme to it. And they took your popsicle picture, Greg, and over the top says, "Hey, what, Kane to Greg, what do you think about my date ideas?" And it's just you angrily sucking on your popsicle stick.
I'm not angry. Do I look angry?
You look sultry. You look very, very like I know I have the power here.
I think I've ended up with an angry looking face.
It's called resting Greg face.
Yeah, I really do. I think it's the eyebrow. I think it's the glasses. I think something about me looks like I'm just fucking not having it. I'm pissed.
And I find it a very comfortable and inviting environment, your face. But I also grew up in an abusive childhood, so, you know.
Yeah. There you go.
That's where my comfort level is. We have an email in from a fella. Doesn't happen a lot on this show. We have male listeners. They are on the Discord and they interact all the time on our Instagram at DTBFF podcast, but rarely do we get a question in from a guy. And it's like, hey guys, you don't think you need some help out there? Classic male brain thinking that I got this. I'll listen to the show, but I ain't got no problems. You got problems. All right. You're listening to us. You got fucking problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're listening to this podcast for advice.
Yes. This comes from John, and he says, "I'm not as in love with her as she is with me." Hey guys, it's John. I'm a fan from the beginning of Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers, and I've loved every episode. I finally found a fucker to write in about and contribute to the show. It's me. I started dating this beautiful girl. She's really fun and down to earth. We like and connect on so many great things and dumb things. She's a big fan of Bachelor Nation, and because of you assholes, I decided to watch it with her, and now I'm hooked.
Oh, man. Did you watch the rose ceremony last night?
I didn't. I just started it when they all went to St. Louis, and she went on that one-on-one with the basketball dude.
With Joe,
and I haven't seen past that.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Episode.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to come back to it.
Michelle is the lowest rated bachelorette they've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. The show's doing its worst numbers that it's ever done.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's because of Michelle. I think it's because there have been so many of them on back to back to back that people are just sort of tired of it.
Yeah.
And the show has to change. It feels a little old.
It feels early 2000s.
It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're nostalgic for that time, it kind of hits you in that sweet spot. But if, you know, you're Gen Z and you could give a shit, it's like, yeah, what would be the point of watching The Bachelorette? Especially with a group of like this group of guys. This is a group of aggro idiots.
Yeah.
John says Michelle deserves so much better.
He's a good guy.
We told each other that we loved each other and everything is going well in the relationship. Except I get this feeling that I'm not as in love with her as she is with me. I don't have this excited feeling when she comes over or when I go to her place. She started saying that her cat is our child the other day, and I got annoyed at the idea of being a cat dad with her. I can't say it's a cuffing season situation because we met in June. I was loving dating her, but now we've moved into deep relationship territory, and I can feel that she loves me way more than I love her. Am I just not that into her? Am I backing away because it's getting serious? I can't think of a reason to break up because it's going great. I just want to match her love and enthusiasm for me. Any advice would be appreciated. Take care. P.S. Kane, your date ideas had me dying, but they are insane. Thumbs down. Oh, whatever.
I love this. I love this guy. He is the target. Don't take bullshit from fuckers. Male listener, cisgender male listener.
Sure.
We have a lot of different listeners.
Absolutely.
But he is, yeah. Well, there's one thing that's true. You're never going to love somebody the same way they love you. Love is unique to the person who's having it. And so there's nothing, you can't match her love or replicate her love or mirror her love. You can only have the love you have. That being said, some of the things that you said in that letter tell me you're not that into it. If you're not that excited to see her, I don't mind. I get that you're repulsed by the cat idea. I am too. But that is one of the things that happens. Sometimes we're with somebody that's absolutely lovely and absolutely fun to be around and someone we have stuff in common with. But we don't have that special little tingle or that thing that makes it where you want to replicate, where you at least sort of want to reciprocate their love.
I find matching each other. I think it's important to at least have this feeling that you're matching each other's, I don't know, vibe, I guess. Like when people play that I love you game in relationships, I find it so annoying. And I was with a girl that would do that all the time where, she'd be like, I love you. And I'd say, I love you too. And then she'd go, I love you more. And then I'd be like, why? Like, why? Like, why can't we just love each other? And I have to come back with, I love you to the moon and back. And she's like, I love you infinity. And I'm like, I want to break up. I can't take this shit. It doesn't sound like she's doing that. It's not like she's bullying him into like, hey, I love you more. Maybe it's just like, I get the idea of like that feeling of like, oh, man, she's really happy around me and I'm a little bleh. I'm a little blah. Maybe tell her how you feel. That's a tough conversation to have, but I would tell her how you feel. Just like you feel a little waning in your soul. There's something lacking.
But then she's going to take that on board as something she's doing wrong and she's going to try and fix it. Like, I think you don't say that unless you're really prepared to break it off.
Right. Well, I think having I don't think there's anything she can't fix anything because you're obviously.
The competition is not going to help him.
Sure. So you think he should just break it off? Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. If you feel enough that it's like, this is fine, but whatever. And you met in June, so it's not even a year, and you're already like, this is great, and I don't want to be a dad to her cat daddy. Ooh, cat daddy. It's more than likely you're just it's that probably initial excitement of when you first started dating was great, and then that all just sort of fell away, and now you're treading.
It's just a common thing that happens, but you don't want to stay in something just because it's okay.
Yeah, you're treading water. Yeah, maybe it's time to have an honest discussion with yourself.
Just there's no stays with this podcast.
True.
Because it's just okay. He doesn't have any other options.
He's
But
got
if he had
cheese.
other options, he'd think about it.
He's got cheese, though. He's got
He
cheese.
does have
And
cheese.
have a thought with yourself, like, hey, do I need to get out and be single for a minute? And if it's an overwhelming yes, then, then bounce. I would bounce out of that. And as someone who's gone through a couple breakups this last 2 years, they're not fun, but it's better if it's better once you have them. Once you have those conversations, you'll feel a lot better. And stop being a bitch, John. My date ideas are awesome.
I was thinking of one the other day, the post office date.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Where you make your place the post office. And then you just keep your window closed for a long time. You don't actually come out.
And somebody's standing there with a package, like
package. Yeah, she comes with a package.
Just standing there.
You just make her wait. It's all that anticipation that makes relationships so great.
Do you invite more people in, like, over to then stand behind her?
Yeah, you've got like 15 people there.
So then she like turns back. Are they at lunch? What's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on,
stays closed.
I'm on my lunch break and I got to get back to work. What a great idea. Do you want to share the listeners' date ideas now, since you've opened the door to?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Over on the Discord. First of all, let me go back to my beef with Marcy. Because Marcy found me on Instagram, which is not hard to do, at Kane Holloway. Marcy says, "You're insane." This is Marcy from the show. And I said, "Oh, what's up?" I was all excited too to hear from Marcy. I was like, "Marcy." And then I go, "You're my arch nemesis now." And then she goes, "We don't have to be enemies if you admit I'm right, but whatever." It's up to you. And I said, "Nope, sorry. My ideas rule and you're jelly." And then Marcy emailed the show, Greg. Oh, I don't even want to read it. I don't even want to read it.
Read it.
Oh, I hate it. I have a dirty taste in my mouth. Marcy again. "Kane, I rest my case. Gregers, you and me, let's start a new podcast. We'll call it Don't Take Bullshit from Kane Holloway."
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus episode on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We can invite Marcy to a Zoom call. She sounds like she should be on.
Yeah, she should be. She should be on something. I don't know what it is. She should be on something. So over on the Discord, Tim D has one. Says, a movie-inspired date idea for me specifically. Accentuate the Statham look by picking up your date, telling her you just have to deliver something real quick, and then start driving like a bat out of hell. Stop occasionally for a martial arts fight. At the end of the date, say, "You just got transported, baby. Do you want me to go down on you?"
Oh no!
Ooh, so you're getting a little bit of Dave and Jason Statham downtown.
Oh my god!
There's so many layers to that one. And then this one comes from Lady E.T., which is E.T. in a wig, and it says, "I got a date idea. Nursing home date. Hear me out. Both participants wear sweatpants/leggings, preferably gray for a man, and ideally DTBFF merch, and slippers. Messy hairdos. Arrive to the planner's home either 15 minutes early or 20 minutes late." Ooh, the suspense. "Play a game of Scrabble or dominoes. Proceed to eat a soft dinner. Get your mind out of the gutter. E.g., meatloaf and mashed potatoes on TV trays watching Jeopardy. Wrong answers only. And Wheel of Fortune. Retire to bed by 8 p.m.
That sounds like my current life.
She actually says, "I may or may not have had It's Gregers in mind for this one." And then Laura says,
I love soft foods.
"Who doesn't?" I love soft foods too, with maybe like some crunchiness to it, like you add chips to a sandwich. Laura says, that's perfect. Now hire a stripper to come and dance after Jeopardy. Stir it up a little bit. So you get a stripper to the date. And
I don't like the stripper part.
No.
I like going to bed.
Yeah, you go right to bed. You know, I think we should add another layer to this where you go to bed and then you spoon and then maybe the guy goes to make a move, right? And then she's like, not tonight, you know? And that's the whole thing. That's the whole rest of the thing. So no one has sex. No one has...
Shut it down.
Or you soak. That's up to you.
No, I don't want to talk about soaking.
What are you talking about? Don't be that way. Like a tea bag. Tim D has a new tagline for the show. Speaking of soaking, it says, don't take bullshit from fuckers, America's premier soaking podcast. Triptician says, after today's episode, soaking has now surpassed moist as the unclean word in my books. Who comes up with this shit?
I'm totally in agreement with that. Mm-hmm. Soaking is the worst word. It's the worst. It's so gross.
It is, because it conjures up. It conjures up a lot. Like it conjures up.
So gross.
It conjures up feelings and smells.
Is it the same thing as docking?
I think isn't docking where one guy is circumcised and the other guy isn't, and that you roll the foreskin over the penis. I think that's what docking is.
I hate people.
Yeah,
I hate people. People make the worst shit. People are the worst.
Like when they were sitting around telling, dude, okay, so this is what we did. And then the other guys are like, oh, it's like you docked with him. And then boom, there you go.
This mean song, the theme song for what does this mean song. We'll read a self-help quote, and they're definitely not memes. Memes are something completely different than quotes. Quotes are supposed to help you through all the bullshit in your life. And memes are like that poster of that cat hanging from a tree, and it says, hang in there, baby, or Mondays, am I right? Mondays, am I right? So if you can think of a different title, then we'll probably change it.
What does this mean? A segment that we've had from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your inspirational quotes, and then we can shit all over them.
It's really what we do.
Yeah. I have several here. One from my sister that says, one does not get enlightened by striving toward the light, but by processing the darkness.
Feels like too much work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like processing the darkness. Like, is that something I want to do? Like, is that on my list of shit to do? Like, get up,
mm-hmm.
meditation, process the darkness.
I gotta process the darkness. I can't cancel that again. Go to
Maybe
Ralph's.
I go to Ralph first. Go to Ralph first, and then I process the darkness.
Maybe while you're in the dairy section, you could process the darkness. You know? Oh, I need creamer.
No, I don't want anything to get in the way of my buying yogurts.
Yogurts.
I love yogurt.
You do love soft foods.
Yeah. I do love soft foods.
Soft foods. Yogurt. I haven't had yogurt in forever. You know what else I haven't had? Pudding.
I love pudding.
I haven't had pudding in such a long time. Got one here that says, if you are a giver, remember to learn your limits because the takers don't have any.
Oh, you're done.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. See how I give and give and give?
And all I do is take.
Just You're just like a squirrel. You're fucking taking all of my.
Just taking them all, putting them away for winter.
Mm-hmm. Keeping them in your cheeks, or is that a chipmunk? I don't know the difference. I have another one here. Remember, if you're not speaking it, you're storing it, and that gets heavy. Oh man, I hated it when I got done reading it.
I hate it now.
As soon as I got done reading it, it gets heavy, like the heavy part of it.
Yeah,
that made me
uncomfortable. I hate it. Somebody would say on The Bachelor.
Yo, bro, listen, it's Michael J here. Just wanted to let you go. Remember, if you're not speaking it, you're storing it, and that gets heavy. Oh no! Oh no! Girl. Tell me. You can be honest with me. I'm Michael J. Don't store it. Look at you. You have bad posture. So
all they want on that show is for people to open up and be vulnerable. That's all the Bachelor ever says. And then we get these trauma dumps.
Not me, baby. I'm Michael J. I'm an open book. Ask me any question. Pretend we're on a date. Ask me a question.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, man. That's a question for another day. Also, my dad wasn't nice to me. Okay. Go laugh in the places you have cried. Change the narrative. What the fuck? Fuck that. That's really upsetting.
That is upsetting. The idea of actually doing something like that is so ridiculous.
You gotta retrace your steps. The fucking Lord of the Rings. All right, we got to take this trail because I cried over near this bush on a hike with my ex-boyfriend. I'm pretty sure it was this bush. Okay, this is where I cried.
You know what I realized? I think I hate advice.
Well, I got a solution for that.
Is that good? You think that's good for a coach?
Terrible. I hate advice. Well, I got a 3-step program to help you with that. All right. One here. You made the best decision you could with the information you had at the time. That's so basic. And the last one I have here, I posted it today on DTBFF podcast on Instagram. You don't lose if you get knocked down. You lose if you stay down. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. I mean, he just explained boxing.
Sure. But that
for boxing, but I get it.
But Greg, that also applies to life. You know, that applies to our lives, baby. You get knocked down, girl. Don't worry. I'll stretch out my hand, pick you back up, girl. You could be with me. But I can't even see you right now. I'm not there.
I'm really not sure what you do with that character.
Embrace Michael J.
Michael J is gone.
No, Michael, he's here. He's here with you right now.
Michael J was like one segment of The Bachelor. No one even remembers who he is.
I was in a box the whole time. There was a bow on it, and I stayed in that for night 1. Still got a rose. What up? I don't know what brings me more joy. The fact that you don't like it or that you did like it and I'm trying to make you like it again.
I liked it for a minute. I liked it for the amount of time it was worth liking. Some things are not forever.
Beat it into the ground, I always say.
So I've got a couple here. Doing what you like is freedom. Liking what you do is happiness.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I found one that I actually kind of genuinely like. Die with memories, not dreams.
Yes.
Die with memory, not dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Die with memories, not dreams.
I got news for you. You don't know either. You have no idea. You won't remember either.
That's actually kind of true too. Yeah, you can't take them with you. It's over.
I also don't want to run out of dreams just so it's comfortable for me to die.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that there's some dreams unfulfilled.
You really want, you just like things you just never got to?
Yeah. Or things I think I still might get to, and then I don't because I die.
Oh. Peacefully in your sleep or like in a shootout?
Either way. I'm just going to fall on a hike. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, when you're going to go laugh where you used to cry?
Exactly. I used to cry at my high school. Should I go back? Just be insane, walking around the hallways, laughing. Who's that old man laughing in the hallway?
I call up my dad. Okay, I'm going to laugh this whole phone call.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, I like that. I also like the idea that you could have unfulfilled dreams. Like you were going to get to them. I do like that a lot. Over on the Discord, we have a bunch of sections. One of them is questions from us. Pat posted one. How did you find us and what was your first episode? Raven Dark said, my daughter recommended the pod and then I binged it all until I caught up. Triptrition said through a Fofop episode Greg had guested on, at the stage I had caught up to date with that and was looking for a new pod. Little did I realize I had stumbled onto gold, a steady binge, and I'm up to date here too. Laura said on Instagram, checking to see what my favorite comedian was up to, need to binge listen again to catch older ones. You're so many people's favorite comedian, Greg. Fej says, chatting with Greg and he told me about his new project. Started listening to support, but got hooked and look forward to it. It's one of 4 podcasts I listen to on a regular basis.
He's an old friend, Jeff. He's a good guy.
Jeff. Have we talked about Jeff before on the show? Did me and Jeff have beef also? I think me and Jeff have beef.
Oh, maybe. Maybe you did. He's an old friend of mine, so it's possible.
Yeah, I got enemies everywhere. I'm like Tupac.
Yeah. Just like Tupac.
I am exactly like Tupac. All right. I hadn't listened. This one comes from My Name Is. I hadn't listened to podcasts before and picked GGE first, specifically the episode with Greg, as he seemed familiar. He was talking about DTBFF and the title sounded right up my alley, very sweary. So ditched GGE and started listening to DTBFF. I found it so funny and endearing. I have to thank all 3 of you. The lockdown in Toronto went on forever and the podcast kept me laughing the whole way through. I was the weirdo walking along the lake chuckling to myself. Oh, well, if you cried at the lake before too, now you've just replaced those memories.
Yeah.
Paige Brianna says, I asked my Google Nest to play Greg Behrendt podcast. I figured everyone else has a podcast. He must too. That was early summer 2020. I think it was the episode where Kane went to a Black Lives Matter march. The show was so much better than anything I imagined, and I've been hooked ever since. You mean when Greg got upset at me because I couldn't record now because I could have given him COVID? That's your first episode?
Yeah, I love it. I remember Pat and I were both like,
going to a Black Lives Matter protest any other time would have been fine. We could have recorded that day. Not during 2020 COVID time. I don't want to be the one that killed Greg Behrendt.
I mean, I'm all for. I admire you for going to the Black Lives Matter.
Yes, I appreciate it.
I do. It just inconvenienced me a little bit.
I just love that that's her first episode. That's so funny. Martin says, I am a cuddle up from back in the day. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen you, Pat, at multiple podfests and live shows.
Yeah, you have. Martin's an old friend. He's a great guy.
The Alan Bren said, while I've been friends with Greg for seemingly forever, he asked me once if I knew Kane because he was really funny and we are both from Seattle. I didn't know him, but I started following Kane on Instagram, and when he started posting about it, I jumped on board. So I guess it's all Kane's fault that I listen. Hey. Oh, cool. Geekiana said, oh, you babies, I've been a fan of Greg since 1999.
Holy shit. I've been around a long time.
You have.
It's time to move on.
Right from the
Geekiana. Oh my God. That's so much Greg Behrendt. It's too much.
Too much Greg Behrendt. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You must look like my wife. Just drained.
Thank you guys so much for sharing that. We really appreciate it. And could you guys share the show? You know, keep the show circulating and tell your friends about us and how we've helped in any way, or how that you think the show was funny. If you think an episode of a specific fucker that we've dealt with that seems similar to something a friend or a family member is dealing with, you know, we got a ton of episodes, and we're here to help. And so we would appreciate you sharing the show, following the show at DTBFF Podcast on Instagram, and give us a 5-star rating and review, because every little bit helps put it up there in the up those charts. Do that, please. We would greatly appreciate it.
Go out on that.
Yeah, unless you got some sort of snappy tagline. I don't have anything really small that we can just throw in there.
Can you ask again? Ask again if I have a snappy tagline.
Oh yeah, sure. So, Kane, do you have a snappy tagline to go out on?
No.
Perfect. We'll be right back.
Okay, so there's a couple chances to see us live. If you guys are fans and you want to come out, or in person or digitally, because December 18th is our live podcast, Saturday, 12 p.m. The link is in our link tree at DTBFF Podcast. We're going to do this show live, and we would love to see you guys all there. We'll answer your questions and talk about your memes and interact with you guys. I'm sure Marcy will probably be there, and we can have a verbal jousting fight. I feel like I might lose. I don't know why.
That'll be a chance for Marcy and I to sort out our podcast.
Sure, yeah, in front of me. That's great. It's like catching your girlfriend cheating on you. That'll be fun.
Totally.
So then, but you can see me live on Thanksgiving Eve at Tacoma Comedy Club. That's the 24th this month. 7:30 p.m. We're doing a Thanksgiving Eve bash. So a bunch of my buddies who are out here are going to be on the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And so come to the Thanksgiving Eve bash show hosted by Jose Bolaños, a very funny comic. And you can also go to kaneholloway.com for tickets and links and stuff like that.
I will be in Pittsburgh the December 10th through the 12th at the Improv.
Nice.
So come out and see me. flap my wings. It's gonna be an incredible weekend of stand-up comedy.
Hell yeah.
And I think, if I recall, I've been to Pittsburgh before and I've cried there. So I think come out and have a laugh. I think I was in Pittsburgh the day after Donald Trump got elected.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep, that sounds about right. Well, yeah, check all those out.
Yeah. And come to our show, and keep supporting.
Yes, please. So with that said, Greg, you got a question in from a listener.
Question, and I get this question. I have over the years gotten this question quite a bit, and I find it difficult. So I'm glad to share it with you guys because I don't really always know how to answer this one. And it starts, Greg, I'm a 47-year-old woman that has struggled to find true, healthy love through online dating for decades. I've also tried to meet guys through single church groups and other meetup groups. Hasn't been that effective for me. What would you tell someone who feels like giving up on the dating experience because of feeling like they have tried everything and nothing has worked out? How to go about finding those healthy relationships, including friendships? Please call me anonymous if you plan to use this on your podcast. Thanks.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because, when recommending people get involved, it's to take actions on their own behalf. And she's doing that.
Yeah.
She's doing meetup groups and she's doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't had any luck. And I don't know what that is entirely.
Yeah, that's a tough one to sort of wrap your head around if you are doing all the work. I would also maybe look at, it's tough. It's like, well, are you putting yourself in situation? I don't know. 'Cause it's like, you can't really say like, quit dating, it'll come, because that's not the case for everybody. So you can't give that out. And it's also like, are you doing things you genuinely enjoy, that then fulfill you without the expectation of meeting somebody? Because that's the only idea I have in my mind about attempting to pursue dating while not pursue dating. Being in an environment or an activity that brings you fulfillment on your own without anybody else, and then finding someone with that exact same and the same sort of feelings that activity brings them, you guys can connect on in that way. I don't know what that would be for you, but
it's cliche to tell someone to have a rich, full life, but there is something to that. The thing that's attractive about people is when their lives seem attractive, and how rich their lives seem and how interesting they are and the things that they do and the hobbies they have and the proclivities they have, all that kind of stuff, And so she doesn't tell us much about what her life is like. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to my single life. I've had like a couple conversations with some girls after the breakup with Raina, and essentially just basically like going like, I need to really focus on myself, because I know for me, I've been in so many relationships in such a very short amount of time that I haven't given myself that feeling of like, well, what is my life really like without someone in it? You know, I was with Kelsey for 8 years, and then I was split up with her for a year, and then I met Raina, and then we were together for 7 months, and we moved really fast. And there was that whole thing. And so to go through another breakup and then go, okay, I definitely don't want to date, but what does my life look like when I'm not out pursuing the dating life? And, you know, I find myself in situations connecting with people, new friends, I'm not racing to get home to somebody. And so I feel like I'm free to explore. And I also just go, I got to focus on what I love. And my things are very easy for me to pinpoint. Doing this show, working on the things that we're working on for this show, doing stand-up, that all puts me out in the world. And so I go out in the world, I get to do what I enjoy. I get to create the things I get to create. And in the process, I'm feeling more and more uplifted and happier, going, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this on top of which working on this new relationship.
So we are telling you to start a podcast.
Start a podcast. Go to a drawing class. Shave your head. Get a different hat collection. But you know, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this, but like, your focus on yourself is and the joy you try to bring yourself will be attractive to someone else. Someone else is going to be attractive to your drive and your and your sort of sense of yourself. Like when you're out doing the thing you're good at, or you're whatever, if your general relaxed demeanor of being out and being comfortable where you really like being, someone's gonna be attracted to that. And I think we sort of shoot ourselves in the foot when we're like, I'm going out, I'm on the dating app, I'm going to find that person. Okay, I'm on this date. All right, he sucks. Fuck him. On to the next one. Okay, he chews with his mouth open, and he's got a weird way. I hate the way he talks. Fuck that guy. And then you just, you keep compiling new experiences, and then one day you're feeling like, oh, I've spent so much time dating that I hate it, but I don't want to be alone. What do I do?
And she doesn't tell us what the relationships are like when she's in them. Mm-hmm. What she who she is in relationship and what she's like, whether she's puts walls up or she's needy or whatever. We don't know any of the specifics of how she actually relates to people, which is a big thing that I work with when I coach people. It's like, yes, it's hard to date and all that kind of stuff. What are your dates actually like, and what's happening on the specifics of what you're doing when you're in relationships and all that kind of stuff? Or does it never get past her first date? It's hard to know without more information.
Yeah. Especially what if you're constantly having unhealthy relationships, well then what's your picker like? Like, what are you attracted to? Are you picking relationships that subconsciously you recognize as this is gonna fail, this is not gonna go anywhere, and then it doesn't go anywhere and you're like, I fucking knew it, or like, so are you cycling through the same kind of person and then you find yourself alone? Like Natasha says, we all have to train ourselves to be attracted to what's good for us, because a lot of time we're not. We're attracted to what's going to be eventually pretty awful. And, that's not the case for everybody, but yeah, if your relationships are chronically unhealthy, you got to take a look at what you're attracted to and what then you're attracting. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out those buttons and flip them.
Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you found the podcast. She was looking for the podcast. You couldn't find it. I sent her a link.
Reddit remix. All right. Okay, I found a porn video of a job candidate, and I don't know if I should report it to my boss. I am the hiring manager at an engineering firm. We got a lot of applicants this year, and they all have pretty good track records and qualifications. The candidate in question is an MIT graduate, licensed, and previously worked for a great company. I am definitely considering her. However, I came across a porn video featuring a woman, and I am certain it is her. Her name isn't in the video or anything, but I recognize the face. And it was a generic title, and I found it after shifting through a bunch of professional content.
Huh?
Okay. Real amateur quality. This person has no leg to stand on. Okay. Real amateur quality and doesn't have many views. Oh my God, bro. It also wasn't on any of the big name sites, e.g. Pornhub, so I don't think anyone would find it easily. I am torn because on one hand, I don't think what anyone does in their personal time should affect their career, and it could be a mistake she regrets. On the other hand,
why is it a mistake? Why is it a mistake?
Yeah, right?
There's some sex shaming right there.
Yeah. And also, yeah, some porn stars make a shitload of money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she regrets the lighting.
Yeah, maybe the framing. Maybe it's not like it's not the best.
Look, I mean, clearly this guy watches so much porn that he came across that he was on some obscure site and came across somebody he had been in contact with or thinks he's been in contact with.
He thinks it's her face. So he's just going to roll the dice on the possibility it could be her. And then what do? Take a screenshot of it? Hey, is this you? What do you think she's going to say? Oh yeah, you got me. If you're not sure, then she's going to be like, fuck you and no. On the other hand, my boss is somewhat uptight and let someone go before or after he found a picture of them smoking weed on social media. I know that the company has a certain reputation to uphold. I have thought about reaching out to her privately and telling her about it so that maybe she can get it taken down.
No.
But I'm not sure if I would be crossing a line. Any advice?
Yes, you'd be crossing the hugest line.
Yes.
Stop watching so much porn.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Stop watching so much porn. Jeez.
It's clearly your hobby to watch a lot of porn, so much so that you know all the obscure sites, like Greg said, then to go into some amateur shit, which means that you've desensitized yourself from all of the mainstream porn where there's terrible acting and really good music and awesome lighting and everyone's in a mansion or a hotel that looks really expensive, and you go over to some fucking dirty dorm room with Blair Witch camera work, and you're like, yeah, that's the shit. Wait, is that Sarah? But you have no fucking idea. Her name's not in it, and if she was smart, she would have used a porn name like most porn stars. So you have zero evidence, and also you're gonna go to your boss. The idea that the person who fired a guy for a picture of him smoking weed on Instagram, the idea you're going to go to that motherfucker and be like, all right, so I was kicking it on my free time, just jerking one good one off.
Also, this person doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to tell the boss.
She's trying to get a job and have a livelihood, you fucking rat.
Yeah, take her off the list if you don't want her on there.
Yeah. But also, how dare you? If you do take her off the list, how dare you? You fucking idiot, you hypocrite.
Yeah, you fucking hypocrite.
Let's say it is her and you recognize her face. Well, that's something for you forever.
Well, I love it that he refers to it as a mistake.
Right.
Like there's something wrong with what she did.
Yeah.
Like that she's going to have regrets. She might just be bummed because the numbers weren't very good.
Yeah. Not a lot of views. Who's that is, again, that's never been my concern ever when watching porn. I've never seen like a thumbnail and been like 23. I don't think so. I don't think so, my friend. Not getting me today. The fuck are you talking about? Doesn't have that many views. Dude, fucking, this is clearly your thing. So for you to then be on some weird high horse over her mistake, you're a consumer. Her mistake, your mistake. You're fucking funneling money to her. She at least she made the porno, you fucking creep.
Yeah.
That's a dipshit. What a keep it to your fucking self. God.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I bet he's wrong. I also bet he's wrong.
He's for sure wrong. Absolutely for sure. This happened to Kelsey. Not this exact situation, but she looks like a porn star. She has essentially the same face as a porn star, and then she did a bit about it because a friend of ours was watching porn and saw a girl and was like, "Holy shit, that chick looks like Kelsey." And then when we were in the green room, told her about it. So then Kelsey made a fucking joke about it, and then it got to the point where she ended up having that porn star on the show.
On her podcast.
On her podcast, Self-Helpless, yeah. So, but it's not like he was sitting there jerking off. Is that Kelsey? Oh, my God. My Lord. I hate this fucking guy. Rats.
Yeah, I do too.
Fucking rats all over the place. Whole families is rats. Well, what do you guys think? And what's your favorite porn site? I'm just kidding. But if you have any questions, comments, if you want to send us memes, you can go to dtbffpodcast@gmail.com. On Instagram at dtbff podcast. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. Come to our show December 18th. Go see Greg in Pittsburgh. You can check me out at Tacoma Comedy Club this week, actually, now that this episode's coming out. Go to kaneholloway.com for all that. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/DTBFF podcast. Throw in $1, you get the video version of this show. You get to see our beautiful faces. You get to see Popsicle Pat's beard. And you get to see resting Greg face. And you get to see Michael J. Michael J in action, girl.
Michael J is so done.
He had a 1-episode run, huh?
Pat's probably not even going to let him be in this episode.
He's littered throughout it. Good luck.
Pat is one of the best producers in town.
He is. He sure is. Without Pat, there is no show. And with
That's exactly right.
Go and follow Pat, DTBFF producer Pat. Follow me at Kane Holloway and Greg at It's Gregers. You can call in the show as well. We always love to hear you. What is that number, Pat?
That number is 323-379-5544.
Don't take bullshit from fuckers.
Fuck them.
Hey there, if you like the show, you can find bonus episodes and more at our Patreon at patreon.com/DTBFF podcast. And then rate the show 5 stars on iTunes because it's the right thing to do. All music by the Rating Monarchs, produced by Patrick Kelly.